to go.
Clickety click. Dwayne Golding.
Dwayne Golding. We get to try this again. Question for you. If you could be an animal, what animal do you reckon you'd be and why?
Jeez, top of my head, maybe a dog because I get looked after so well.
Yeah?
Well, most of them, maybe not in China.
Good one. All right. Go back to when you're a little boy. You're sort of starting school-ish. Tell us what was life like, what was family like, how did you grow up?
Little boy, I grew up with a good family. My dad worked, my mum worked. They raised me pretty well. I grew up in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. School, I went to Anglevale Primary School, like sort of a country town school. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had a bit of ADD issues. Just back then, it was just hyperactivity. So, yeah, it is what it is.
And what did you think of school? Did you like school? Does it treat you well? What were you doing at school?
Well, seeing your friends at school was always good. Besides that, nah, I don't really like learning useless stuff, you know.
And how did your schooling career go? Did you had a good bunch of friends? Do you keep in touch with people?
Yeah, I got one mate who's still in school I talk to. But as I was leaving year 7, he came in, so we kind of just brushed shoulders. But now we hang out all the time. He's one of my best mates, yeah.
And was academics, was maths your favourite subject, or?
Oh, hell no. Basic maths was okay. But primary school was easy, you know. Learning was easy. It was when it came to high school, year 10, that was challenging.
And when did you finish school?
I finished in year 10. I got suspended for 2 weeks. I went to my uncle's workshop. He's got a mechanic workshop. I did 2 weeks work for him for nothing, work experience, and then after that, he said I could have a job, and I didn't look back because I was going to fail at school anyway. So that was simple.
What did you get suspended for? Do you remember what you did?
Not particularly, no. No, I can't remember, to be honest. No. Can't be too significant.
Yeah, all right. And what was family life? What were you doing as a young kid? What was your hobbies and sports? What were you into?
Soccer. I wanted to ride BMX, but the old man wouldn't let me. I think he thought it was too expensive. But I think it was a Saturday thing. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it was just too expensive for him. So I was allowed to do soccer, though. So I did that for like 7 years. And I did a little bit of footy as well. Footy's a bit better, well, a bit more fun. That's kind of the sports I did then. And I got a BMX when I was about 15. That's when my love for the BMX bikes came into it. Like I always had a bike when I was young. I think my first bike was a little pink girl's bike. It was like a 12-inch training wheels. My great nan bought it for me. It was good. I rode the training wheels off of that literally. Like I think one snapped, and then the old man took the other one off. You know.
And then you're away.
Yeah, I was off. I think my great nan, she used to freak out how gun ho I'd go down the footpath and just hit the skids, and then she would always be like, ah, you know, what have I done? That was good. My great nan was a big part of my life. Yeah, she was definitely the rock of the whole family. Because when she passed away, it all broke up. It's a bit sad, but it is what it is. But
Tell us a bit about your family. Tell us about your mum and your dad. Are they still around?
My dad's not around, unfortunately. He passed away due to basically lung cancer, and he got beat up pretty bad in a car accident, and he was on his way to Victoria and with his girlfriend at the time because my mum and dad broke up, right? So they were doing their own thing. My dad was driving to Victoria. I think they swapped seats with the girlfriend, and he was going to sleep, and I think she had the heater on and fell asleep at the wheel. Yeah, they both ended up out of the car, and that was pretty bad. But
they survived that?
She didn't. His girlfriend passed away. Yeah, it's pretty bad. He was devastated. And I think he was had to go on dialysis and stuff like that, so it was already kind of compromised, his health, you know what I mean? But he said he didn't listen to his doctor, so he should have listened to him.
Bit of a stubborn old man, hey?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, cigarettes is hard to give up as well. So
He was a good dad? Tell us a bit more about him.
yeah, we used to go to the Virginia Speedway a lot on the Friday night. It was good to take me out there, and most of the times I'd make it through the night, but sometimes I'd fall asleep and he'd end up carrying me home all the way. You know, it was good. It was
Good memories, hey?
yeah, it was good memories.
And your mum? What about your mum?
Mum, she's great. She's a great mum. She's always been there, always been supportive. Yeah, she's solid. She's I always got a lot of thoughts for her.
And now you're a dad as well, yeah? You got kids?
Yeah, I got 2 kids. I got a 24 now. His name's Brody. And I got a 6-year-old girl now, and she's her name's Summer. And they're both different mothers. I'm not with any of them at the moment, but that's just life. My son, yeah, he was good. He was a great kid. I used to sit him in the bars on the bike, like weave his feet through the bars and put a little pad under his bum so he could sit down. He had nappy as well, and used to cruise around in the bars with him everywhere. He used to go everywhere with me. He'd go to the trails with me. He used to ride for the little rhythms and that with him on the bars. And he was 2 then, 2, 3, if not younger, maybe 1.5. He was in those bars, and just the balancing, I think, he got it, because he was 3 with no training wheels, and I could like ride next to him, have my hand on his back, and just launch him as hard as I could, and he'd get it. And the little bike had a free wheel as well, so it wasn't so dangerous, you know what I mean, in case they lock it up or whatever. Yeah, it was great. He's a good kid. Just on his 24th birthday, we went to the go-karts at Kartmania with all his friends and a couple of my friends, and we had like a Grand Prix. It was great. It was good memories. We'll always do those sort of things together. He also got into BMX too. I think he did a few good tricks like bar spins and no footers, no for can-cans, and a bunch of other things too, because I was kind of out of the BMX scene when he got into it. We did ride a couple of times together, but I just keep hurting myself. I'm over that.
And so he's 24. So how old were you when you had your lad?
I was 21. That changed me a bit, actually. Like, having a kid changed me a bit, pulled my head in. But having a daughter pulled my head in even more, like it really did. Yeah. I love my daughter to death. It's really good. You can be really close to them. They can be really affectionate to them, where you can't really do that with your son. You can when they're young, but when they grow up, you can't be mortally collared them, you know what I mean? But me and my son, every time we came home from school, we'd always hug. We'd always hug before bed, and that was always good.
Yeah, I tried to do that with my lad as well.
Yeah, we still do it. It's you can say a lot of words without saying them in a hug, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right, and so you're saying you got a BMX around 15-ish. Tell us how
GT
the BMX
Performer, tri-spokes. It was gangster, all chrome. Yeah, I thought I was it. Yeah, it was good. I always got to push Mum. I want that one. Come on, they got a budget, you know, and I always want the next one that's a little bit better. You know?
And that was BMX for transport, or you got into tricks, or what was the bit about
that
BMX
was
riding?
Just a BMX because I like 2 wheels. Like, I had a mountain bike before that, but when the rapid gears came in, that was all cool, you know. I had a Malvern Star, but I bent the forks on that pretty quick. Then I took it back to the shops and said I just went off a gutter. Got a new set.
Got warranty. Probably the first person that's done that.
They can afford it, yeah.
And then where did it take you?
So yeah, that brought boys in, you know what I mean? Like, locals, you got a BMX, that's cool. Like, my friends really enjoyed that bike as well, and I reckon that was a start, because I remember having that Performer, and I think there was Terry there. There was Terry, my best mate at the time. I think he's seen that there. I think we all just caught the bug at the same time, because we were into footy at that time. I was 16, 17, and we had BMXs, and then we met this bloke called Daniel, and he was a bit better than us. He had a better bike and stuff, and he could do these tail whips on the ground, and that was it. We were just like, what? So we just kept trying these tail whips, And I think that was the start of catching the bug of the bikes.
And so who was some of the crew that you're right when you got into it? It starts with one or two and then the group grows. Who was in your group?
I guess that was it was me and Terry and Daniel, and then there was another group of kids in Elizabeth North, and that was Kim and Russell, and
That's Kim Grosser and Russell Trander, yeah?
yeah. Bazan came a bit later on, but it was like mainly us five, I think, and then it grew to 6 with Bazan, and we used to go out a lot of times. We go to Gawler a lot. We used to build this jump out at Colony Park, and it was massive. It was a really good step up, really good learning jump, and
That's the Gawler step up that's in a lot of the videos?
Yep. Even interstaters came and joined in, you know what I mean? Like Kenny Raggett, they all really good learning jump. Yeah, we had a lot of fun there, yeah.
And so a group of 6 of you, it's a great number of people to push each other, and you've all got your different things that you're good at. And
well, there was another one, probably like 7, because there was Michael as well. He was a good mate for a while there. There was a good 7 of us, I reckon. And then other people came in the areas, because everybody saw us riding, so we just had like followers, I guess, and they sort of joined into our group. We used to like take up in the train area. There was that many bikes in there, just going to the jumps, all running amok, being young, just loud and obnoxious BMX riders,
And then at some point you thought, I'm going all right, and you probably heard of, I used to put on some comps, and you guys thought you'd come down and give it a crack.
Yes, that's around the same time. I think I started excelling a little bit in front of people. I think I got the 360 down before everyone else did in my group, and that really, I think those things help. If monkey see, monkey do. If Dwayne can do it, that means I got a chance, you know what I mean? And the whole group started excelling. But it was around that time when I did that 360 your comp was on. That was the first comp I was in down at Dingledell. That was good. I'll always remember that. And it was a great comp.
I think I got footage of you wearing a blue Volatile t-shirt. You had your long red hair. I don't know if you were wearing helmets or anything then. Or
I was intermediate. I'd never done a jump comp before, so I was intermediate and I won. I was quite stoked.
You done some big nothings as well, I think.
Yeah, big nothings, big nothing seat grab, and it was gangster. I loved it. And that was a massive jump. Going down that hill with that speed, we'd never done that before. That was pretty full on.
I think that was probably before Gawler Step Up. Like, Gawler Step Up came after than that, I reckon.
I reckon you might be right, because I think we sourced out something similar. I reckon that made us find that spot, I reckon.
Tell us a bit more about Gawler Step Up. Explain the jump. Explain
it used to be just a fly out. It was always there. I think someone heard of it, and then we went out there, and then I think it was me and Bazan. We went out there, and I was like, I grabbed this rock, and I was like, that's where the lip's going to be. And we built dirt all over this rock and made this huge lip. And obviously the landing got bigger and bigger over time. And it was excellent progressing jump.
Great, safe place to learn.
Yeah, because the dirt was nice and soft. The fall was half the speed as going up. You know what I mean? So it was very safe.
The ground's kind of coming to meet you rather than you're landing all the way down the backside. Similar to Shepherd's Hill. Dingley Dell was the same thing. It was just a big jump, and then the landing was up a lot higher. So it was a bit safer.
At the end, not right at the end before it got demolished, the jump was that big. It was hard to 360. Like it was that much air time. It was hard to time, but it was easy to flip. So we started making another step up. You know what I mean? And it was. I think it would just look too big because the lip was just straight up. You know what I mean? It was like this now. So and then I think the council just came along. I thought, nah, you know what I mean? Can't have that.
Talk a bit about progression of riding, like from someone did a 360 and then someone did a backflip. Like, how did the sport progress in your eyes? You saw no one could do a backflip and then someone could?
Yeah, first backflip we seen, I think, was Pelican, was Daniel Beard, and it was just this Diamond Road, this BMX track, and he flipped off of a corner of a berm, had this little tiny lip on top of the berm, and we're pretty blown away by that. we never thought we'd ever be able to do it, because just seeing the force and the G-forces and how hard he landed, but then by the time we were 17, we're trying them.
It's pretty incredible to think we lived in a time when
19,
no one
I
had
think.
done a backflip. Like it wasn't a trick. No one had done it. Like now, motocross is double, triple, everything. Motorbikes came a lot later, but a backflip on a bike, it's like, oh, holy cow, you've just unlocked a new level, haven't you?
Yeah, that was full on. Yeah, to do the backflips before motorbikes was great. You was you at that first competition? No, not competition. Demonstration we were doing. That was
Supercross Masters.
Was it the Supercross or the or was it the Monster Trucks? Which was I think it was the Supercross.
Yeah, there's some of the events we used to do Supercross at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre and Wavell Showgrounds. Well, so went into state with them, and yeah, we'd get a group of 6 guys, and they'd do a halftime demo in front of 15,000 people.
Yeah, it was good.
What was that like?
That was great. You was there. You would have heard the crowds a bit more than us, because we were kind of on like an adrenaline rush, just jump. But I think Bazan was first, I reckon. I think he tried to flip and he kind of didn't quite make it, and the crowd like lost it, like wow, and then he kind of crashed, and they're like whoa as well. And then I think everyone was trying to do a flip just to get that crowd response. It was great. But the crowd response was full on. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, Entertainment Centre full,
Yeah,
all the way around.
They've never seen a backflip before.
Never seen a
No
backflip.
one's seen backflips. So to them, that blew them away.
Yeah.
That
And I was trying to say to you guys, look, don't do the backflip
Yeah,
straight away.
sort of
right?
ease
build
into it.
Build them up a
Ease
little bit
into
first.
it.
But you guys are all so excited. Just, I got the backflip. I'm going to do the backflip.
flip.
Yeah, that was cool.
But now everyone's a bit more, tamed now. They've seen that many backflips. Motorbikes can do crazy stuff now.
Tell us a bit more about those early days. Like, what did it feel like to you to, get a call? I'd give you a call. So look, there's a demo coming up. We've probably got $100 each or something. But you get to ride your BMX bike and do a trick in front of a huge crowd. Tell us a bit more about, who was doing that, what that felt like.
That was good. Well, Zolly, Volatile Revisions was putting most of the comps together, and just doing that, you help progress the sport. Yeah, especially in Adelaide, should I say? But I mean, if it wasn't for you, we would have had like bugger all comps. We wouldn't have got as quick as we would have as fast,
That progression.
So, yeah.
Who were some of the guys doing those demos with you? Do you remember?
I remember one of the demos at the is it the Wavell Showgrounds. With the mountain bikers were there at that time too. That was a good response from the crowd. We had Grant, we had Dean, we had Rowan, we had, I don't know, you got to help me out with some more names. Was Holloway in one still?
Holloway would have been taking the photos, but in the early days, Bazand.
Yeah.
But then I think we had Brad Grantham even.
Yeah.
There was a young lad, Matthew Bell, a young lad that could do flips from the country. So there's,
Yeah, there was.
There'd be
I'm bad with names.
some kids that could do some cool tricks. And look, there could have been 20 guys we got in there, but generally, Supercross, they gave us 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So there wasn't enough time to put too many riders in there.
Okay.
As the years progressed, we got a bit more time so you could have a few more riders. But at the entertainment centre days, you literally had 3 minutes. You might get 5 or 6 jumps each, and then they'd close the jump down, and you guys would keep trying to keep going around them and jumping more. And they'd shut it down.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
We were all pretty excited. We all loved jumping, didn't we? We were all full of beans. It was good times.
Tell us about the early days of BMX in Adelaide and how you saw it, how the different groups, the different people, tell us about a few of the different personalities in the sport that stand out to you.
Well, yeah, there was definitely different personalities. Not everybody liked everybody. They secretly, I think there's some secret haters there. But the scene was always good. We had our groups though. We had like the northern group. We had like a little Gawler group and down south group, Victor Harbour group. Probably more of a city kind of a Clemsic group, you know. And we'd all and the city park, the Adelaide City Park, was such a hub for everybody.
I'm just going to change this. Put this camera on again.
Yeah, no sweat.
You keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, the Adelaide scene was good. It's dropped away a bit, and I think that's happened because of the skate park, because that was like a main hub for everybody. And then also we skate effects too. That disappeared, so that was also another spot where everybody kind of met together and rode together. It's a bit sad.
Yeah, so that was, now there's skate parks, there's facilities everywhere, but Skate Effects was really the only indoor facility BMXers could ride in Adelaide. Yeah?
Yeah. Well, there's been a couple try to make it, but they just flop. I think not enough people. We have got a bit of a population problem, you know. If it was in Melbourne, there would have been enough riders to kind of keep it going, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I think there were skaters there too, and like Bo and Charmaine, they lived there, so it helped pay the rent, I suppose, you know.
And so, competition riding, different from just riding for fun with your mates. We used to run some events. What did you think of competition? Where did competitions take you?
It's a difficult question. Where do they take us? They just take us to the next level, I suppose, doesn't it? I don't know.
And you'd compete in Adelaide. Did you just stay in Adelaide? Did you go to interstate?
Yeah, I went interstate a couple of times, but it's always money and time, you know. We're always trying to keep our bikes going back then, you know. Forks cost like $250, $300, and frames were like $800, and we're always busting up bars, though, you know, $150 here, and it's expensive.
And now stuff's got stronger and better, and
well, sort of. It's kind of gotten lighter as well. So I guess the bike's not hitting the ground so hard, is it?
but also more expensive.
Yeah.
That price tag's attached.
Yeah, I know. Price of everything's gone up through the roof. It's disgusting.
You got to the X Games, did you?
Yeah, went to the X Games. Went to the first ones.
When was that? Tell us a bit about that.
We had the Queensland. That was the Sunshine Coast one, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good. We had a few Americans come out. Seeing them was that blew us away too. I think there's Ryan Bar Spinner and Jay. No, not Jay. Was
Taj came out.
Taj Mihelic. Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, that was great.
Good fun.
But the jumps were that big. Like we were still young, and I think I made it over the jumps and I done a nice flip, and then it was Corey Nastasia. He came along and just made this lip bigger and better, and I couldn't make the jump anymore. It sucked. But that's us being inexperienced, and Corey Nastasia. He's a jumping king almost.
Yeah, he was OG. Yeah, for sure. Big style, big personality. Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right, tell us a few more of your mates, like your BMX, buddies. How tight was your bond, and how many years do you keep that going for?
Well, we had a like a bit of a halfway house in northern suburbs. Is this girl we knew, Danae. So Daniel, I was telling you at the beginning where Daniel and me and Terry. It was Daniel had a sister called Danae, and she got into it as well. So we and then Terry lived there for a bit. So it was a bit of a halfway house, a bit of a run amok. A few parties there, and
how old are you at this stage?
So everyone kind of hung out together for a while. How old? It was about 19 all the way through to, I think, I'm not sure when she moved, but I moved away when I was 25, I think, out of Elizabeth, out of the northern suburbs. So and she was still hanging around doing their thing there. So it went for quite a while.
4 or 5 years in your early 20s.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
living the dream.
Yeah. It was good. It was.
Out from under mum and dad's wing and yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, tell me a Jesse Carlson story.
Jesse, he was like the number one. What was he, under 17s BMX racing champion
In the
in
world.
the world, and he had the skills to back it up with his tricks too, like big flips, big 3-0s, just really consistent and smooth, and just wowed everyone. He was such a nice bloke too. He was good personality. Everyone loved him. I think the chicks really loved him too. Yeah, he was right out there too with his fruit tops, with his Hawaiian
big gay
fruit
bikes?
tops. Yeah, big gay bikes. His little brand he made up. He was out there, wasn't he?
Copy
Funny,
off of South Park. After
funny
Big
guy.
Gay Al.
Yeah.
That's when South Park first started, like, I don't know, 25 years.
And Jackass too. Everyone just copied Jackass when that came out. Jumping out of the back of utes into bushes and just monkey see, monkey do, wasn't it?
That was about the year 2000, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Doing dumb stuff.
A few other guys in the Adelaide scene. Like I say, there was a fair few guys, north, south, you know. Who else? What other names come to mind? Riders.
I'm really bad with names, but Brad Grantham.
Brad Grantham.
Yeah, he was good.
He was a young
smooth.
lad.
Yeah.
Crazy skills.
Paul Rudd, he had some good skills. Toby, he had good skills. They're like the main names I can remember. Jared Simpson, he had skills before us. Like watching him do a tail whip, like whoa, you know what I mean. Always looked up to people that could do good stuff.
And what about the digging scene? Like back then, there was really very few legal places to ride your BMX bike. You talked about Gawler. There's other places around Adelaide. Do you remember other places and how jumps got created?
Well, before there was no really skate parks here. We had like Unley ramp, and there was a couple of bowls here and there. So Adelaide was basically the dirt state. That's what other people told us when they came visiting Adelaide. That, yes, down south was always had good jumps because the council left them alone, so they got to peacefully build nice jumps. Whereas in the northern suburbs, we always struggled. The council would find them and smash them down. Can't do that. We don't understand, because why can you down south but not here? Different councils. Doesn't make sense.
It was like that. Yeah, Ranella, Hackham.
Yeah.
There's a number of places that jumps got to keep building
And
for
they're
years
awesome.
and years. Paramount
I think
Trails.
they're still there. I think Paramount's still there.
Paramount's
It's not as
still
big now. I think they've cut it down to like a few jumps in the line, because I think people just go nuts, take over the whole reserve, you know. But Paramount was awesome. Yeah. Those boys, I think Brad had something to do with that and his crew.
Pretty
Really
impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Work life. What jobs have you done through your life?
I suppose mainly just labouring. I can't sit down and do paperwork or sit in the front of a computer. But it's mainly been labouring and driving, forklift driving, truck driving, just labouring, helping building pools with you. And at the moment, just trying to find that nice ground, common ground where it's not too much work. You know what I mean? So I've got time for my kids, because they need you to be there.
How old are you now?
46.
46 years young. You still riding bikes?
A little bit, nothing like I used to, but still life's behind bars. I've got like a 2008 Speed Triple Triumph. It's really killer. Love it. It's the last one they made in England. They make them in Pakistan now. So I think that's a bit more special to me. And
That's motorbikes.
love it, yeah, my motorbike, yeah. I had dirt bikes for a while too. Me and my son, we had a couple. Used to go out to Thompson's Beach and just ride out there. It was really fun. It's really good. Yeah, I've got a nice picture of my son doing a nice jump on the little Pee-wee 50. It's killer.
Did you get into jumps on your motorbike?
Yeah, a little bit. It's hard to get into jumping at a later age. You kind of need to grow up with it to be as good as those guys that are jumping.
it doesn't. I mean, I've never done it. Does it relate from jumping a BMX to jumping a motorbike, or it's poles apart?
When you're in midair, it does, because the way you can shift the bike forward or backwards, it is a bit. But then you gotta not gas it up the lip all the way. You gotta kind of gas it and let it off. Otherwise, it's just gonna it'll loop you out. So there's you got to think about other things. You got an engine that's powering you. You know what I mean? Mm.
Progression. Who do you think progressed in the circles around you that you saw? Who do you?
Everybody progressed, but yeah, some people progressed more than others. So Kim progressed way past us all pretty quickly. It was good. I think he had a little trip to America, came back a bit better again. Yeah, he just kept. I think he trained more as well. Always riding.
And you guys were riding brakeless. Tell us about that.
Yes, we rode brakeless because we couldn't afford the rims all the time. And if your rims buckled and your brakes are slowing you down, you don't want that. You're gonna not be able to make the jump properly, or it's gonna get in the way. So off came the brakes, and then everybody started doing it. Other people thought we're nuts, and now look, nobody's got brakes. It's maybe the 5% of the people got brakes that are into bikes. Like we just saw the X Games. Did you see any brakes there? You know what I mean? No pegs either. I think there's one person with pegs, and there's probably one person with brakes. I don't know. I didn't watch it all, but it's weird, isn't it?
So your logic was the rims are too buckled,
Yeah,
and the brakes are going to rub.
yeah.
So just take the brakes
Take
off.
the brakes off, slowing us down.
It wasn't for any other reason than my rim's too buckled.
Yeah, and I can't afford a new rim.
It makes total sense. It makes total sense. But back in the day, I thought you guys were mad.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were totally mad.
It was pretty easy to get your rim buckled. You know what I mean? A few 360s
sure.
and that, and then it's just like, well, you're back to square one again, you know? Just ripped them off.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
And we just found out ways to wash off the speed in the middle of a jump, you know, just sort of give it a little bit of a flick out and it'll take a bit of speed off. And to stop, you just sit on your seat and just put your feet down on the ground. Just kind of pull up like a street luge. Just it's all sorts of ways to stop. Yeah. But you got to kind of. It gets scary though, because if you got that much speed and you don't know you're going to get the landing right, so you kind of shoot off to the side and just do this weird little.
Well, when you're jumping one jump, you can jump one jump and roll into the space. But when you're in rhythms,
yeah,
you got to have enough speed. And you can't stop.
There's trees and stuff jump everywhere, and there's the backs of landings and this and that. You know, you got to just it's pretty. You got to pull your brain out of your head when you're doing that. You know. Injuries.
Tell us about. You had any?
I've still got one from doing a jump the other week, but yeah, always got injuries when you're riding BMX. I reckon. Or you're always trying to you're nursing an injury, or that's probably why I never bothered with the gym so much. Always liked the gym, but there's no point having a gym membership when you're always banged up and sore, and when you had a ride too, you're just knackered.
So tell us about a few of your injuries. What, how do they mess up your body and your head?
Well, when I think I was 17, I broke my collarbone. Just went on a step up and just nosed it on the top of the step up and then straight to my shoulder. That was younger. I think younger again. 16, I broke my my left ankle. That was a little ramp we had at Manapara. Just looped out and sat on my leg, crunched it. Worst one's my knees. Like I had an ACL one, that's all right. But I had an ACL done on another one, and I was at work, and the work got me to do some jackhammering, and that just completely destroyed the cartilage. Like I can walk normal now, but I was limping for years. It's pretty depressing too. Really, really messes you up.
How do you work through that when you love riding or you love being active and you can't? Where do you go? What do you do?
Motorbikes. Well, I went to dirt bikes thinking my knee might be able to handle it, but it's too rough. So the dirt bike, I put road wheels on it. So I turned it into a motard. And then the two-stroke engine just chewed the fuel up too much, so I sold it. Then I got a road bike. That's when I got the Triumph. And I didn't get the Triumph straight away. You got to work up. Got a 600. I think it was a Suzuki GSXF. And then I just rode that for a year, so then I can get up to the bigger bike. And the Triumph's my second bike, and I absolutely love it. It's great. It's good to get out there, go through the hills, just the wind in your hair. You feel free. Go to a pub, have a couple of beers, and go for another ride. And you just do whatever. You can go anywhere you want. Just have fun.
You can do that now. As you're older, you've got that opportunity. But when you're younger, you didn't have a Triumph. What did you do when you
I had
stuck in the rut?
2 wheels and bike. You know what I mean? Always had 2 wheels, so whatever it was.
And how does your head go when you get, to those places of, fucking hell, bro, I can't do this, I can't do that. How does that affect your head? Tell a little bit about that.
Of course, it's going to affect you. You just, I don't know. Just it's life, isn't it? You got to get past it, find something else.
Does it beat you down? Like there's a couple of days it's like, no, I can't even get out of bed. Or
what, the injuries?
Yeah,
No, it was just depressing because as soon as I got up, it was sore, and I'm limping straight away, and couldn't even stand up for a piss sort of thing. It was easier to sit down, you know what I mean? Just because the pain was always there. So, and thinking because it was always there and it's taking so long to heal, yeah, it's depressing. But you just gotta think it could be worse, isn't it? It could be worse unless I'm walking and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It always could be worse.
And so your attitude is that, look, that comes with the territory and I'll get through it.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It takes a while to get over things, doesn't it? You can't always sit there and hanging on to things. You gotta build a bridge and get over it.
For sure. Tell us, have you ever stuffed up in your life? Have you ever made a big mistake or done something that you kind of regret? Or
there's always regrets. But I mean, they define you, I suppose. They build your character. Learn lessons from them. But sorry, what?
Any like a mistake? Where did you stuff that you're happy to share with us? You stuffed up something, whether deliberately, accidentally, you just stuffed up and you know it was a stuff up. How do you? Can you think of a moment when, fucking hell, that's shit? That's going to impact someone else negatively.
Well, I guess there's an incident where I accidentally ran someone over, but I can't really take it back because it was an accident. But I mean, a few things. I don't know. I mean,
tell us the circumstances of that.
I was at the Sydney X Games. I think it might have been the 2000 ones. Or no, a bit later I think it was actually. And the girlfriend I was with, she had a mum in Sydney. We were staying there the night, or the few days. The mum talked to my girlfriend into saying that I was cheating on her, but there was a reason behind it because there was things that they wanted to take off me in the house. So she made up a story to get her daughter to believe that I was cheating on her in Sydney, and then I break up there and then when I got home. When I got back to their place, should I say, the husband was a bit drunk. He tried to hit me a few times. I ended up hitting him, and he fell asleep. The mother went just bananas on me, and I didn't hit a girl, so I didn't know what to do. I should have just hit her really, but because she was being pretty feral. But I ended up getting into my car, trying to get out of the situation as quick as possible. And then on the way down the driveway, which was super steep, there was a bloke in there, just in the way. He was drinking too, their mate, and I ran him over. Luckily, the car was up pretty high; it wasn't lowered. If my car was lowered, he would have got crushed completely. But the whole driver's side of the car bumped over him, rear wheel, front wheel, and I pulled out of the driveway, and there he's still rolling down the driveway. It was a vision that can't shake that vision. Once you've seen it, you can't undo it. And went to the police station, just dobbed myself in, got locked up. Mum just got a house to get the bond, just put the house down to get the bond, and I just missed going to Silverwater because the courts were about to close, and I would have got stuck over the holidays. And Silverwater prison is one of the worst prisons in Australia, so I wouldn't have went down too well. And the scary thing was the van was coming. We were all going to get in the van and go to Silverwater. We're at Liverpool police station, and the guard comes out with all these cuffs because we're about to cuff him up and and there was one pair missing, and that you know what I mean, and that was me. I got to stay. Short. I got to stay and got bail. Yeah. Whew. Fucking real close. There was one dude in there, no shit. He was shitting out a knife, showing it. He'd like go down in his pants and he's got this knife and he's showing it, and he like back down in his pants, and then he'd bend over and then it's gone again. He's doing a magic show. Meanwhile, watch him or watch the bugs.
I don't know if they'd get that on America's Got Talent. That's a trick, isn't it?
Nothing up the sleeves.
Is that your only brush with the long arm of the law, or?
That was the worst one. Well, I had to keep going back to Sydney all the time then, to go back to court, back home, back to Sydney, and it was a mess. But I knew one of my mates from Adelaide. He was a writer too, and he lived in Sydney, so I made the right calls to find him, and I got to stay with him. And I had a really good crew with him. Like, he was still into BMX, and he had a crew, and it was like straight in, and then there was like Dwayne this, Dwayne that, and it was really good. Always riding when I came back to Sydney. So it was, this good. Just if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have had that. It's a bit of a yin yang situation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full on.
And so you were saying you hurt yourself recently. What, you went and rode again recently, did you?
Yeah, beer barbecue fest. I thought I'd do a backflip. It was I hadn't done a backflip in years either. Hadn't rode in years, but it was an airbag. It was an airbag jump. So did a no-hander first jump, did a 360 second jump, and I thought, I'm in a roll. I'm going to do a backflip, and I know how to do it. I would have got the second one, but I just rotated too slowly, and basically landed on my head and my shoulder. Still a bit sore.
So what, a break of 6 years was maybe a bit long to just come for a backflip on your third jump?
I think so. And the time before that I jumped was into a lake at West Lakes. So, and that was, I under-rotated the first flip there too. So it's just me. I would have got the second one.
Where do you jump into West Lakes?
It's near a like a rowing club or something. I'm not sure which one it is, but a mate of mine, I think his name's Mick. He said, "Come down, Dwayne. I've got the ramp at the down at West Lakes. All right, come down, have a shot." My knee was pretty sore then too, so it was still a struggle into the water.
So it was a portable ramp, like a wooden lip or something?
Yeah, just a wooden lip, straight into the water. Mm.
Did you ever go to Frank Smith Dam?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think I've only lake jumped twice. That was 4 or 5 years ago. I did that one with Mick. And oh jeez, forgot what I was on about. What was I on about?
That's all right. City Dirt.
Yeah, that's
you're
awesome.
You're involved with that right from the very get go. Tell us your perspective on the City Dirt.
Yeah, City Dirt used to be just a BMX track with made out of dolomite, and there was nothing there. It was so rutted out, really uncomfortable. But I think it was you and JT Cycles. What was Trav?
Big Trav.
Trav.
Not so. I was probably more yourself and myself approaching council and coming up with a design and a plan that they didn't accept in the end. We wanted it more like what it is today. We wanted a kind of a loop, but they wanted everything just one direction.
Yeah.
And we couldn't build the start mound more than 3 metres tall. That was the maximum.
Yeah, right.
That was actually the first legal dirt jump in Australia that we could have jumps close to 2 metres tall with a gap in the middle. Everything had to be a tabletop.
Yeah, wow.
That was the first place in Australia where you could have...
Really? First place in Australia?
That a council let us build a facility like that.
Didn't know that. That's good.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool thing there. Tell us a bit more about the City Dirt. I'm going to check that other camera.
Yeah, City Dirt. It took a while to get going, I guess. Not a lot of people were building at first, and the dirt wasn't the greatest what they gave us. Very rocky, basically. Just the place took off really good when the mountain bikers kind of took over the scene, and they can build. I think the BMXers are all a bit like, I don't want to build, I'll go to a skate park. Whereas mountain bikers, they don't go to skate parks. You know what I mean? So they're all about dirt.
So the early days, it was very much BMX and mountain bike. They weren't really working together, were they?
Not at first. That's because the mountain bikes weren't jump bikes at that time. I think the mountain bikes would always be heavy on the landing and crush the landing a lot. But that's different nowadays. Completely different.
And there was no real bond between the BMXers and the mountain bikers either. They were really two separate groups in the early days.
I think that's why though, because when we put so much effort into our jumps and they come along and just, the bikes are heavy, and when they land on top of the jump, it just destroys it. So we're like, you know what I mean?
And most mountain bikers,
it wasn't a personal
really
thing.
And they weren't good
They
at
were
jumping.
trying,
The
yeah.
bikes were different. And the early trails were really short, like good trails were steep and revert landings. Like
a bit too soon for them, sort of thing, isn't it? That's the
mountain bikes were long and low.
They were longer, Whereas the jump mountain bikes now are shorter and a bit more BMX orientated size-wise. Mm.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Adversity. What else has gone wrong in your life that you're happy to share and talk about with us? Someone listening is going through a shit time and go, actually, you can get through it, you know?
Shit times? COVID, that was a shit time.
What's your perspective on COVID?
Don't listen to the media. It's good to, I think it pays to be a conspiracy theorist nowadays. Because, I mean, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Like, I mean, look at Alex Jones. I think he's come up with like 90% of his conspiracies have come true. So, and he was all about 911 and all the other ones we've all heard of, and they've all come true. So, I mean, I'm just so glad I didn't take the shot and fall for the media and the lies.
Yeah, okay. What other things, like, you know, when did shit hit the fan that you go, holy cow, I just fucked up?
More of a holy cow moment. It's more like working out how the world works. That's because we just got taught how the world works, and it's nothing like that at all.
Media just forces this narrative.
Yeah.
And this is what we're showing.
I feel like history's a lie with some part truths in it. You know what I mean? And there's it's nothing like we were born in, you know, nothing like we were told when we were younger.
What do you think about kids having like everyone's got a mobile phone and the attention
It's a downfall in society, the mobiles, but it is a good tool, isn't it? We've got high-speed internet at the palm of our hand, and that's helped us be conspiracy theorists, you know what I mean? It's helped us find the truth and look past the media lies. So, but then kids, though, I think kids should be banned not to have one till like at least they're 15. I mean, yeah, 'cause I think they grow up too quick with one, you know? Too many problems.
That's an easy way to keep them quiet, keep them still, give them a tablet.
I'll be trying my best to not give my daughter a phone until she pushes for one, you know.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
She listens pretty good. I can tell her that they're not as good as what they are, and I think you can get phones that are a bit dumber as well for kids, so they don't go on social media as much.
But they're targeting kids. They make it so attractive for them.
Well, this is the waking up to the whole world thing. The kids are targeted everywhere. It's a disgusting world.
I know. My kids, they're on their phones and devices. My lad might have a computer screen and a phone, and we've got three things going at once. You know, how does your head handle all of that?
I think that happens to everybody. It's a dopamine, isn't it? Oh, next. Oh, next. Oh, cool. Next. You know what I mean? In the movie, you got to sit there for 2 hours. It's one big dopamine. You know what I mean? Not. It's. I mean, I get myself doing it. If I'm watching a boring movie, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
See what's there. Yeah. Some of the BMX demos and that we did, we talked about the Supercross, but we used to do a few other. We had that wooden box jump, and we'd do a few demos.
Yeah, the
Any
wooden
memories
box
there?
jump. They're all good memories. They're all fun. Glad they were recorded. Get to watch them, you know. The wasn't that one with toadfish? That was fishy toad. The
Started bad habits.
what was that? That was an actual bike event.
I think that was one
like
of the
a ride.
first big, like a bicycle essay.
Yeah, like
just
ride on
promote
sort of.
cycling in
yeah.
South Australia. It was anything to do with bikes, road.
That was a good
commuting.
day. That was a good. A lot of people turned out, didn't they? It was good.
Yeah,
What park was that on?
we built a box jump. I think it was Elder Park or something over there. And yeah, Fishy Toad was.
He
He was the celebrity
He
from
liked it,
Neighbours.
though. Yeah.
And he loved it. Come and hey, you guys had a little sign made up for him.
Yeah.
And
I remember doing a flip for him. I basically missed the whole landing and I landed flat. Opened my chin up on my bar a little bit there. Really like,
his eyes. Oh.
yeah, he couldn't believe it, didn't he? These guys are fucking mad, or something like that. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us the early days, a few other boys riding in the day, you know, Terry, Mick, Kim. Tell us some of those. What was a weekend like with those boys? What will you be doing?
Hey, let's go right here. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Organising. There was a bloke called Richard T. He do a lot of filming for us. He was good. We had good people that hang out with us that didn't ride as well. It was a good little crew. It went for quite a number of years. It was good.
And, you know, what does a typical weekend look like then? Like,
Catching trains to the to Gawler Step Up mostly because we just love to learn and we love the big air. Yeah, well, we just rode together. That was it.
were you doing much digging? Like,
Oh yeah.
at other places than Gawler? And how long does it take to dig a jump by hand with a shovel?
Yeah, you always need a crew to build a jump. It helps anyway. There was a few jumps around. We had Lindock. We had Troy's jumps. Troy's was always fun. Lots of jumps. I think that's when we really fell in love with rhythms to it, Troy's, because it was jump after jump after jump, and we just really enjoyed that a lot. All part of progressing everything we did, you know. Go a bit of street riding and just we're always planning different rides and that. And then it kind of sort of broke up a little bit. Some boys would ride by themselves. It was like, I don't want to say names. Just sort of broke up a little bit. They'd ride on their own and not invite, and they'd progress on their own now. You know what I mean? And we'd see it too, and can't do nothing about it.
Yeah. Yeah. What was some of your biggest tricks, best moments? Can you remember a couple of really good moments on a bike that you just felt really chuffed with yourself?
Heaps. There's heaps of them. I think anything you land nice and smoothly after just trying to learn it, and yeah, that's always a big chuff. Always.
Were you able to do that on a bigger stage, like in front, like at demos or comps? Is there any time that the night before the comp, you're thinking, I'm going to try this trick?
That's horrible. The night before the comp sucks. You're always losing sleep because you just go on over your head, your tricks, you know what I mean? Pain in the ass. But a demo was way more relaxed. You get a bit more sleep on a demo, and it was more fun, and the tricks were more flowy on a demo because the adrenaline wasn't quite there, you know? It was a better set out for us riding, you know? Comps and that are always very high anxiety, you know? Butterflies and, you know, get it going a bit too fast and you just mess something up. Whereas a demo, you know, you're not thinking about none of that. You just flow and just ride, and which was always a lot more fun.
So tell us about the comp scene. Like back in the day, the Tour Down Under would come and the councils would kind of work with me, or I'd work with them a little bit, and we'd have some comps like Hallett Cove. Jesse built stuff down south. So you'd pretty much build jumps for 2 weeks. For one comp, you'd probably get to practice the Friday or the Saturday maybe, and the comp on the Sunday, then they'd knock
It was
the jumps
always
down and
push,
never see them
wasn't
again.
it? So us blokes always building the jumps, we were always knackered, building it, and then kind of the first ones to ride it as well. You know, it took it out of us. Sorry, what were we getting at?
You don't always, well, the jumps are built, you know, and you don't always get the lip and the distance.
I know.
It's not quite right. Like in the early days, you think, oh, it should be this far apart and it should be that steep. Yeah. And then you try and jump it and you go, oh, there's no big roll-ins there. And you pretty much had to pedal into every jump, really.
Sometimes you're jumping a jump that's not quite ready or defined yet. But that was the name of the game with competition, wasn't it? Here's the dirt, build it, quick competition starting soon, you know. They were always kind of just built before the comp. They're still getting work done.
Literally ready the day before.
It's a lot of work, wasn't it? And
then they'd be knocked down 3 days later, never to be seen again.
We needed a good Bobcat driver. That's all we needed. Yeah. Someone that's professional. Because you watch them build tracks and stuff, it's like, well, they've got that shit down.
Yeah, it started with one little jump dug by hand, and then you end up getting machines in, and good soil makes a big difference.
Well, when you're building the demo jump with the machine, it's a lot easier on the body.
Well, the Supercross, for example, some of their jumps, they're busy making the tracks for the Supercross, and their priority is motorbikes, and they'd give us a little slot, and then they'd literally build the jump Friday night, like we're waiting, and then the machine would come over and just dump some dirt in a corner, and there's a lip and there's a landing.
And it's so soft.
Yeah.
And you got to step it in, and I think stepping it in was a pain in the ass, wasn't it?
We're literally trying
to pack it in to get some body in it.
Yeah. Nah, cool. Where else did kind of bikes take you? What other sort of people have you met through riding bikes, and are you still friends with them today?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm pretty bad with names, but a lot of times when I go out, I say, "Hey, Dwayne, hey, remember?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, dude." And I remember a face though, but pretty bad with names, but that still happens a lot.
Yeah,
I think I was always helpful to people. If I saw someone and I was struggling a bit with a trick or whatever, I could see where and what they were doing kind of wrong, and I'd help them out. And I think people appreciated that. They come back and go, "Well, that worked." It's just a way of explaining things to someone though. It's not just like do this, do that. You got to kind of go, in this part of the jump, you know, take your legs up and push it down a bit, or you know, and they listen. It's good.
Yeah, well, I'm posting up the old videos now on the internet, and a lot of people, you know, rate you pretty highly amongst as a like an influencer for young kids.
Yeah,
like there's the Mogs and stuff like that as well, and you know, you guys. You don't think, I'm nothing special, I'm just a guy. But you actually did kind of make a difference to people.
Well, yeah, I'm empathetic. So I like to help people because I can see they're struggling. That's all it is. And then it's kids too. I got time for people, you know. Especially people that are like that, you know what I mean? I don't have a lot of time for other people. But you can judge a person's character. If you're a BMX rider, you've got a pretty good character anyway, you know what I mean? That's what I'd say.
In the early days, like the BMX crew and the skater crew were kind of the rabbly bunch. Like you guys, you know, to get stuff with councils, to get things happening, you needed to speak to people in power, and they didn't necessarily like BMX and skaters in the early days.
No. Well, look at the reputation skaters have, you know what I mean? And the BMXers are the, kind of the next ones after the skaters. They're still very streety, very...
You're all good kids, though.
Yeah.
But that's just where you applied. You didn't play football or fucking tennis.
No,
I mean... So you got a bit frowned upon.
They were all... whoever had a BMX and was riding, that was their hobby. That was it. They weren't really doing much else. That was... Yeah. Nah, BMXs are cool. Just bike riders. If you like two wheels and you're riding, same with the motorbikes. When you go out motorbike riding, there's a few towns in the hills there where the motorbikes always park and sit up. There's actual motorbike cafe sort of thing, and just everyone's on the same wavelength sort of thing. It's the same with BMX and mountain bikes. Everyone's on the same wavelength. They're doing the same kind of thing. So you got similarity straight away. You kind of mate straight away. You know what I mean?
Common bond
straight away, yeah. And you strike up conversations better now because we're a lot older now. We've got more stories, you know, and the stories are good. Yeah, and it's all about motorbikes. This time, remember this time, and you're hearing all other people's stories. It's great. Yeah.
Influences. When you were growing up, was there did you have an idol or a role model or someone you looked up to?
Jim Morrison. When I was 15, I got into the Doors. That was gangster. But bike-wise, everybody that was nice and was good at riding, they were all influences. They yeah.
Jim Morrison, why was he an influence?
I saw the movie, Oliver Stone movie, The Doors, and after that I was like, oh, this dude's awesome. Then I got the double cassettes. I got that, I think I was 15, yeah, and that was it. I was just in my headphones and cassette players, classic. In the back, I remember being in the back of the Holden station wagon, like in the station wagon bit where you won. And then we're going to like the Holden's picnic and stuff like that. And just back in the day, it's things you don't do that anymore. You don't see kids in the back of station wagons anymore, do you? Like you did.
Yeah. So what, you're talking like a Walkman, headphones and a Walkman, or the cassette player?
The cassette
in your car?
player,
yeah.
Just sitting in the back because we got a car full of people and family. We just go on and do our thing. Yeah, it was good. You just don't realise that at the time.
Yeah, cool. Any other, influences today, or as you're older, do you?
Influences like
just, I don't know, is there a characteristic or a type of person that you go, fucking he's...
Well, you'd be one. I think, you are.
All right, thank you.
I look up to you. You're always good with your words. You're good mate.
Yeah, you're a good mate too. Yeah,
cheers.
Likewise.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Now we did a lot of cool stuff. Like I met you as a little BMXer kid, and then you'd ride, and you guys would try and make videos and try and make you look good and do all the rest of it. And then we used to build some dirt jumps and stuff together as well, like for council things. Do you remember any of those things?
The council ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little. Yeah.
There was one at West Beach. There's some out North Way.
Yeah, the one not crazy ones, just kind of ones for the kids.
Mellow,
I remember them.
Mellow little parts. Yeah.
That's always good. They always needed us to come back though, because once it's rode in a bit, you gotta make it look good. Otherwise, people are just gonna like not want to go.
Yeah, I think the one at West Beach is still there. I mean, it wasn't impressive by any means. That was the one by the skate ramps there. There's just that little dirt. It was a little odd shape, and they don't give you much dirt, and they say, "Look here, we'll give you $500."
I know.
And we love digging.
Yeah.
So we'd $500, and I get to push dirt around for a week. You look at it now, and you go, oh.
But it's always good to be in those events because it's part of the community, isn't it?
Creating something for the community.
Yep, and we're doing something we love anyway. We're doing it for free elsewhere, you know what I mean? It's going to get bashed. At least we're going to do it somewhere where it's not going to get bashed down and we're getting paid. It's just a win-win, isn't it?
Hobbies and interests. What are you into today?
Hobbies? It's the motorbike is. I put a lot of time and effort into motorbike. Besides that, just being a good dad. Just being there for the kids. It feels like a hobby because I enjoy it. But hobbies, nah. I mean, I still like my cars. I got my cars I'm doing up. So it's all motors and wheels. They're my hobbies, I'd say. No real sports besides, no ball sports. I mean, I like being festive, throwing the frisbee and like kid stuff and cricket and just those sort of things. Like to be active, but no sports. No. The gym.
Yeah, do you get to the gym?
I go to the gym as much as I can. Any free time I got, because if you don't use it, you lose it.
How often you go to the gym?
Well, when I hurt myself the other week, I sort of had to pull up a bit. But any spare time I got, if I got a bit of spare time, and I hadn't been that day, it's time to go. Just the more you go, the easier it gets, and it just becomes a habit. And you kind of miss it when you don't go. So it's.
And you've done that all the way through? You've always gone to the gym? Or that's more now that you're older, you're not doing everything else?
I was very skinny as a kid, so I was like 15 when I asked Mum to go to the gym. I think I had some bricks and I put some bags around them, some plastic bags, Then I taped them up so kind of like soft. I'm like doing bricks in my room. My mum's seen that and goes, Dwayne, do you want to, I'll sign you up to a gym. You got to ride there though. It's all right. We did that for a bit. It was good. I started putting on a bit of size. But then the bikes, you're always injured, sore, you know, and or just knackered. There's no point having a gym membership.
If you can't be consistent at it.
No, that's right, yeah. There's no point going every couple of weeks and you're paying wasted money. The bikes are very they make you fit anyway. You're jumping, bunny hopping. Just the hours. And I mean we barely ate as well. So you're just running on like a couple of sandwiches and some water from the hose sort of thing. But you know, just being young with no money, that's what happens.
What's your diet like now? Like, do you pay attention to food that you eat and you feed your kids?
Yeah, health-wise, I look the last couple of years, yeah, I've been really healthy. I've noticed that well, we've got that phone, we can look up everything. You know what I mean? High-speed internet, you can find out what's good and bad. So all the oils, all the oils you get, like the vegetable oils and
There's certain ones that are really bad for you.
yeah, they're
and
all really
in
bad
everything.
for you. All the seed oils, so you got to get rid of them. And they're in like nearly every processed packet of food. You turn it around, even your margarine's got sunflower oil in it. Even your bread's got the bad oil in it. The canola oil's bad. So the only oil you want to try and get is the olive oil. Just I've actually started shotting it before bed now.
Olive oil?
I've built up. It tastes gross, right? It's all right if you drizzle it on something as an ingredient, but after a couple of years of having the olive oil, I can now shot it, so it's just easier.
Yeah, I've heard that's
and it's cardiovascular. It's really good. It's good for your heart. It's good for your brain. It's just look it up and find out how good it is. You should get onto it.
Are you someone that takes pharmaceutical pops, pills and tablets for vitamin this and all the rest of that? Are you into any of that sort of stuff or more natural?
I used to think that stuff helped, but the more I look into it, it's not helping. I think I've looked into people just eating meat alone, and they are healthy as. So we can just survive on meat if we really wanted to. That has everything in it.
Yeah, nice. Nah, killer. Well, I reckon this has been fucking good fun.
Yeah.
We did try and do this before, and unfortunately the audio didn't work on that batch. So this is actually a round 2 of this this edit.
It's a little bit better because I knew what I was going to kind of say a bit better this time. It was good to have a little bit of practice.
Well, I'm learning, and
you were learning. Hey,
hopefully
I was a guinea pig. I was happy to be the guinea pig.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I think this is great. It's been super enjoyable.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
If you were to give a message, if we're wrapping this up, and you got some little message, some little takeaway to give to someone that's listening that's maybe having a bad day, or what do you...
Don't listen to the media. They don't care about us. The government doesn't care about us.
Who cares about us?
Ourselves, our family. That's it.
You got to look after yourself, hey?
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Yeah. Friends and family. Screw everything else.
Killer.
100%.
Ah, nice. Let's end on that.
Yeah.
Love it. Cheers, Dwayne.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Killer. Sweet. We did it.
That's good.